Feeding San Diego is moving between 2 to 3 million pounds of food through their warehouse right now.
Busy time of the year for them. The work they do is why News 8 is proud to be a media partner for the Give Hope, Share Joy campaign. And the CEO of Feeding San Diego, Dan Shea, joins us to share the ways you can help. Good morning to you, Dan. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Tell us about the Give Hope, Share Joy campaign. Have you really seen the need for assistance increase this time of year?
You know, it's interesting. We had a slowdown in late October and thought that we were finally hitting a plateau. And then in mid-November, it took off again and has just gone up and is still increasing. We're hitting some of our highest numbers of food distributed ever at Feeding San Diego right now. So the long answer is yes, we're seeing higher demand.
The demand is back up then. So if you could tell us, Dan, what you're noticing for many people, is it really a choice between paying bills, for example, or feeding their family?
It absolutely is. We collected a lot of data from people. We talked to as many as we can, and it just comes down to everything's going up, gas, all costs across the board, and they have to make choices. And they have to keep the lights on. They have to provide gas to get to work and so forth, and they're just struggling. And it's more and more people affected. It's not so much the pandemic anymore as it is the economic turmoil caused by the pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, inflation, it's not just gas, as you touched on, Dan, but really everything, right? Groceries, consumer products, everything's going up. Has that added to the need for help?
It absolutely does. Everybody's struggling. I know families who have never been in trouble before, struggling to keep up on every aspect of how they raise their families, get them to school, feed them, keep the lights on. It's tragic to watch.
Yeah, we've been to some of these drives before, and it really is heartbreaking. A lot of families, they say they're embarrassed to even be on camera. Yeah. They don't want to, obviously show that they have that need, but there's nothing to be embarrassed about, right? You have to feed your kids, and it's a tough time for so many, as you've been explaining.
We tell them that all the time. They are the same people who have been there to help others in need.
Right.
And now it's the first time they've had to do it, and it really impacts them. They think it's a loss of dignity, but it's not a loss of dignity. That's what we're here for. That's what the community has come out and help support. So I get that it's embarrassing, but gosh, it's just the times we live in.
Right.
Look, San Diegans step up, especially our viewers here at CBS 8. We're proud of that. So how can they help? Through donations? Is there volunteer opportunities? Please let us know, Dan.
So it's both. Donations are always needed. We're spending more than we've ever spent before, so that supply chain only stops if we don't get donations. And on our website at feedingsandiego.org, there are plenty of volunteer opportunities to have people help pack boxes. Just to give you an example, we discovered through the large distributions that we started doing that by buying the boxes separately and then buying in bulk and asking volunteers to help pack them, at minimum, we'll save about $1.8 million this year in order to put more money back into food. So the obligation for us is not just to get more donations, it's to cut costs and be effective in everything we do.
All right. Yeah, you have to take on that financial responsibility. So, Dan, thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Dan. You guys do great work there.
Appreciate being on.